engage. Wow, what is this? Imagine you really love a Lamborghini Urus, but it's not electric enough and it's not British enough. Well, maybe then this is for you. This is the comeback of Lotus on a big scale. This is the Lotus Eletre. Basically a electric supercar SUV, as you see it here, already in the front. Yeah, it has some Lambo style, doesn't it? But they use their own unique features. First of all, they have this blade here, really sharp. The air goes on the top and also underneath for better wind efficiency. And they have a lot of open channels, a lot of carbon fiber use here. And you can see here, this channel goes all the way through, for example. And another one goes actually behind the lights and goes up here. So you have this very strong design effect, and you can literally look through here, so my hands could actually meet. So very dramatic features here for the Lotus Eletre. By the way, they write it with an E at the end because it comes from a Hungarian language and means to come alive. So I think they would have used an A at the end, but that was already taken copyright-wise. You always have to search for the certain name. But definitely, what a strong look here, especially also with the very slim headlamps. And you might think like, well, is that for real at its center right now? Yes, this is a prototype hand-built car. However, it will come to normal series production almost identical the way it is here right now. And there are more dramatic features even to come. For example, in the lower end, you can see here, these here are adaptive air intakes. And when it's needed, when you need some cooling, then they open and leave some cooling air in, actually to cool down, for example, the battery and stuff. And well, you won't miss any carbon fiber here, definitely. And you've seen some of the Transformers features already in the front, and more, if you come closer here, are towards the side. In the Mercedes EQS, these are here wiper fluids fillers, but here actually, these are for the LIDARs. The car will be fitted with 4 LIDARs for level 4 autonomous driving where allowed then, but it's basically already prepared for that. Indeed, in this side silhouette, you can see it is it a crossover? It's an SUV. They call it SUV actually, and it is actually kind of flat, still gives you some headroom on the inside, and the very strong line also here, hip area. And once again, these air channels are being in place. 23-inch wheels, you can see here, really massive, and already in the front 285mm tires, yellow brake calipers as a contrast, and then you have this air channel right here where the air flows through and once again forms this negative line. This will be the charging flap, actually 22 kilowatt AC charging and 350 kilowatt DC charging. So in about 18 minutes you can get 400 kilometers or 250 miles of new range. Then you have here as an option the digital mirrors. So this is a camera then basically, and then projected something to the interior. We'll soon take a look at that. Then you also have, there's the camera. Then we also have these door handles. They are illuminated. And they also fold out. Well, we know this one, for example, from Range Rover models or the Jaguar I-Pace. That looks actually then quite similar. Zoom more to the interior. Let's wrap it up here on the exterior. And you want more air channels? Here they are. Look at that. Here, the air goes in there and flows out through here. And they are still working on the final CD value, so we cannot tell you it so far, but it's supposed to be really very wind efficient. Well, and towards the rear, it's once again even more spectacular. You have these wings that are open to that side. They channel the air through, and then it goes into that wing. That is also adjustable. You have more, I use the force, So actually in this way, of course, it would be more wind efficient. The other way, you just, have more downforce than when you're, for example, really, really fast on the motorway. And of course, this rear is super spectacular with the light strip that goes all the way from left to right across the vehicle. There we are. One more wind channel right here. This is probably the biggest one, and once again gives this supercar or even hypercar styling to that electric SUV, which is, by the way, 5 meters 11 in length. That's 201 inches. And the top speed will be 260 kilometers an hour or 160 miles per hour. Well, and then you definitely need all these aerodynamic features. The acceleration aiming at less than 3 seconds in the acceleration to 1 kilometers or 60 miles an hour. And the battery size, something around 100 kilowatt hours net. Well, this is supposed to give you then maybe a range of about 600 kilometers or 400 miles. We have to see about the true figures. Subscribe to our channel if you also want to see this car driving. We will of course also keep you updated with that. But there's so much more to tell you here about the Lotus Eletre. Maybe some light show for you. So when the car is stationary, it can do a lot of things. If this one will be allowed when the car is finished, not so sure about that. Yeah, maybe when stationary and when charging or something, but definitely looks fancy, so I just want to show you that. The Frunk, there will be one available, housing 77 liters, cannot be opened on this hand-built vehicle, but of course we'll show that at a later stage. And I mean, have you seen all the LIDARs? I told you there are 4, 2 in the sides, 1 in the front, 1 in the rear. Here, the front one's pretty cool. Almost looks like it could be a phaser or something. Well, and for the rear one, I imagine some evil Mario Kart features or something. You have to use the force, young Padawan. Are we in Star Trek or Star Wars universe today? You decide in the comments. Tell me. Then let's take a look at the interior. So they wanted to give a new touch to the interior. Here we have a lot of bright fabrics, a more modern modern luxury style with more sustainability, also bright microfiber, recycling share. And you see they have placed the monitor of the digital mirrors here on the inside pretty high in the cabin, so that's actually quite well usable, better than in some other cars we have seen with that technology. However, I still prefer the normal mirrors. And you see a lot of golden elements here. This is a very cool styling they found here, so really modern, a little bit living room-alike, however still with that sporty touch. You can see the seats here, integrated head restraint. This is the quadrat fabrics, so they have 30% wool share, 70% recycled PET. If you want it all animal-free, you can also get a slick leatherette, all vegan interior, that's possible. However, sadly, they also still offer animal skin, which is not fitting to their sustainable approach. These digital instruments, they are super, super slim. And the reason for that is actually that you have a huge head-up display, which we cannot show you at this moment, but that's the reason they kept this one rather simplified. I could imagine also that maybe in a sports mode, you just have like a red stripe going from left to right or something to kind of mimic like a digital RPM meter or something. Although this is an electric vehicle with 2 electric motors, 1 in the front, 1 in the rear. But why not being playful? What it will do in the sport mode, you see that central screen, 15-inch. And in the sport mode, you can actually have, let's say, less distraction. It folds away like this. So you don't look at the display, you just look to the head-up display at your speed, that you don't maybe exceed it or something. Yeah, but they still want to keep not only touchscreen, but real physical buttons. You can also see it at the steering wheel. There you can really touch and feel something. And Lotus said that this was very important to them. Also in the middle console, you can see there are these toggle switches. And the front one, they will be for the AC unit, for example. And the very small single one will be for the gear switch. So once again, you can somehow have a haptic interaction with the vehicle. We're not allowed to get inside because once again, it's hand-built and they're afraid that that anyone is damaging it. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, but I think we can still already get a good image of that. There is also this panoramic roof. You can see it here. And they told me they will also be available with an electrochromatic function that you can have a better shade for that and you block out some heat. So we've recently seen that one in the Porsche Taycan, for example, as a new option. So definitely looking forward to your comments about this interior. I think it's really looking stunning, both from the color choices. It's simplistic in a way, it offers a big touchscreen. At the same time, we don't have hashtag capacitive BS all over the place. We still have things we can really touch and feel. Do you remember the circus mode from the EQS with the ambient lighting that is adaptive? Well, the Eletra also has one. You can see it right here. It plays together here with the ambient lighting. This is of course also for show purposes, but you get the idea where the ambient lighting is. here in the front, for example, also at the inside of the doors each. That looks actually pretty fancy. Of course, different colors will be available. And in this demo mode, you also see how the digital instruments show the speed, for example, or then also on that central screen, there you have these animations, for example, this is then for the tire pressure. Yeah, I mean, that looks really fancy. Maybe it can be also quite distracting while driving. I don't know. That's always a big discussion. We had it with the EQS already as well. So what is actually more important, you know? Being not distracting or being more fancy? Or maybe is there a balance between these two? But for show purposes, or you're showing off your friends, hey, this is my new car, and let's go on a night ride or something, and I show you all of the features, then it's probably really cool. Once again, I'm looking forward to which parts will remain in the final car, but the ambient lighting, this one will definitely remain. And maybe it will also be a little bit adaptive. What do you guys think? I just read in the comments, what are those? Not air vents, these are speakers, either 15 or 23 speakers, depending on the sound system you pick. Passenger screen is kind of also that very slim one I also have here as a driver's screen. What about the rear? Remember, it was 5 meters or 211 inches, so it also should house 5, or in this case 4 passengers. And you can see there's a lot of legroom due to this EV platform. We also do not have a middle tunnel. So that looks actually quite spacious. You can either get this single seat setup, but you can also get a bench that goes all the way through, and then with 5 seats. This single seat setup, of course, a little bit more luxurious. Then you also have this screen here in the middle where you can select things or where things are being mirrored. This will be here, you know, like in a real model, like cup holders, which you can also press in. Here then, you know, for some more storage. And yeah, I really love this, you know, this ambience they created here. So it is sporty, but somehow also, you know, lively, reminding us once again of the Eletra name, like coming to life. And here from there, you can also see once again another view through that panoramic roof. And even already here in this prototype, we see a lot of selective materials, really. So yeah, I mean, for that time, you know, no one really expected that they come up with this here. Did you actually? And now to the trunk, housing 400 liters. And you know, it wouldn't be classic Thomas style if I would also not measure hypercar SUVs, right? Then here, the length about 1 meter or 40 inches, and the same actually goes for the width. So these are actually quite good dimensions. It's just a little bit limited in the height here to the cover. It's about, you know, 45 centimeters or 18 inches. But of course, it will then be a little bit higher right there. So overall, I mean, it's of course not like the super spacious family trunk, but it will be, yeah, this SUV supercar, all electric, which you can also use for, you know, going on holiday or something. With that fast charging and that battery capacity, that might even be feasible. Well, going even more in depth now about the brand, what are they doing? First of all, Lotus has been bought by Geely. That's the Chinese company that also bought Volvo and Polestar, for example, in the past. And they told me, however, they are not using so many same parts. So there will also be, for example, an all-new Volvo XC90 with a different name, and it will also, you know, be electric, I guess. But they didn't say that, you know, not sharing the platform or something. Lotus, they want to be that, like this halo brand, actually. This is very interesting. So inside the Geely Corporation, Lotus is supposed to be that sporty halo brand, and then maybe technology will be taken from Lotus to other brands. That's very exciting, actually. And you might ask yourself also, what is the pricing? Well, 100 kilowatt hour battery is of course already cost intensive, and then all the features, maybe also when you get the LIDAR and so on. So this will be an expensive car, yes. So my estimate is like starting 100,000 euros or dollars plus. And also when you think about the positioning, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, or rather already like Bentley, Lamborghini and so on, probably it will end up something in between it. And that's why also the price will end up something in between it, more or less. So yeah, a lot of fantastic features we've seen here, but yeah, it definitely will be very, very high in the price. It will be built not in England, by the way. The development and the ideas and so on, that does come from Lotus. However, the plant is in Wuhan, China. Yes, the Wuhan. Would be looking forward to your comments if that is a problem to you or not. While charging, by the way, you get this light show. So yeah, that's a very unique feature, definitely, will not be allowed while driving, of course. So much to discuss here definitely in the comment section. And if you want to see more of very expensive EVs, the BMW iX maybe, or the Mercedes EQS, see you there.